Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War 2 Eternal modcasts this side of East Yorkshire. And today I've got a 1 versus 1 on Ashes of Typhon. Playing as the Imperial Guard as the Infantry Company, we have got Kosmos. And playing as the Space Marines with the Reserve Company, we have got yellowmonkeySoulEater. So I've got to say, boys and girls, this is quite exciting. It's the first time I've ever done a Eternal modcast. And might even possibly be one of the first ever on the history of YouTube, so we'll see how things go. On the Eternal Mod Discord, a wonderful chap by the name of SoulEater has given me a list of possible things I can mention as the game goes on. Just because I imagine a lot of you will be from Dawn of War 1, maybe Dawn of War 2, possibly even Dawn of War 3. So I'll be explaining some bits and bobs while there's a little bit of downtime in the game. But until then, we're going to see this very aggressive general coming out. Got this captain going to go for his heavy bolter, and up with... Well, that's one way to surround your opponents, I suppose. Just dropping all the conscripts known to man as they're ducking, bobbing and weaving. Going to send that captain straight back home. Was not expecting that whatsoever. But yeah, that's a way they can be quite aggressive with your opening. We are seeing these tarantula turrets outside of everyone's base at the moment. They've selected the version of the map where they've got some turrets just to prevent some serious early aggression. Oh, the general has gone for a Comcaster. She was able to summon another box in to bring fresh men into the front lines. Love the way these guys just bob. It's probably not intentional, but I do... does make me chuckle just a bit. But yeah, he's going to retreat a little bit too aggressive there, I do have to say. No matter how many conscripts you have, one singular heavy bolter tarantula is going to send you back all the way home. But he has denied all this stuff over here. Has he been capping anything at home? No, he hasn't. So he thought, no, we're not playing the econ game. Oh, no, he's got one guardsman squad with wonderful Dawn of War 1 vocals. Beautiful stuff. So yeah, you'll notice that there's a bit of base building going on. Not as intense as Dawn of War 1, but it's something, man. And I imagine it adds to like the overall long-term decision-making. I mean, do you open up with, like Kosmos has, where he's gone for his conscripts and focus less on recruiting units, or do you do the alternative and build lots of buildings and power generators and stuff? There's options, man, and that's what we want in RTS. The more options you have, the more build orders you can go for. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, the Assault Marines going to come in. One lonely general, no lads to call his own. Going to send him running back home. Conscripts now going to come back over and try and cap this strategic point. Fully qualified guardsmen, no conscripts there, will be scared away by the captain. Going to try and huddle away. There we go. Which is quite nice. I know he's going to watch over this strategic point for as long as he can. Triple, in fact quadruple guardsmen over here, going to be coming over. And one singular squad of Assault Marines. Now, these guys do pack a mean punch, but can they go up against all that these guys are? The captain's gone for a heavy bolter, able to support those Assault Marines should they go in, but he needs to get into cover. While each individual lasgun is not a very powerful weapon, when you've got about... How many is that? There's literally 16, 32, 48... How many guardsmen are there? 57... numbers. 66. 66 boys in total here. And how many Assault Marines? And look at them go. Doesn't matter how many lads there are. Get the Marines involved and they will just cut everyone to absolute shreds and ribbons. Need to get these boys out as quickly as possible. One squad wipe going on there. They're going to jump in once again, knocking these guys over before falling back, but they certainly did a fairly decent job. And if you remember from our last video on Eternal, even though they're running away, they're still taking a fair bit of damage from ranged attacks, which is... I think they get like a reduced amount of damage, but still take a good chunk. Going to decap this 60 strategic point here. So anything else I can mention from my list? So yeah, so apparently they take the best aspects of Dawn of War 1, 2 and 3, which obviously Dawn of War 1, you've got the scale, I guess, you've got the base building, you've got the different varying options you have. Dawn of War 2, you've got the squad-based combat, which we're seeing quite a lot of here. And Dawn of War 3, well, I mean, how would one say, that Dawn of War 3 it ends, you know? You can play a game of Dawn of War 3 and you think, wow, this is terrible, but at least one day it's going to end. So I suppose that is the one mechanic they've taken from Dawn of War 3 and added to the game. It's a lack of permanence. There we go. Conscript's been reduced down to 2 members. Will be chased away. And Kosmos is going to pop a little beam on top. I completely forget what you call this, where you reinforce it. So you've got to destroy the thing outside before you do anything else. You're going to retreat because why? That's interesting. What we're going to go for, so we haven't got any upgrade buildings for yellowmonkeySoulEater. Are you in tier 2 at the moment? Looks like you're in tier 2. Kosmos in tier 2 there. What kind of things are you going for in your base at the moment? You've got an infantry command where you're reinforcing your lads. You're not going to go for any upgrades neither though, by the looks of it. Just going to go in purely for that meat grinder. Look at the economies, 480 and 60 compared to 330 and 57. You have a lot more red money for yellowmonkeySoulEater there. And all's going to go for some snipers, I imagine? No, not snipers. Does have the option of researching the sniper in his HQ building though, so that's quite good.
You know we're ready.
Imperial Guard just kind of chilling out around here. This is an annihilation match, so they are fighting till the last man, so we'll definitely probably see some late tier units. There we go, that's what we want. We want the scout unit to maneuver around and start capping and decapping things. Need to get your economy on the go while also denying the economy of the Imperial Guard. Won't be able to capture it themselves, but once you decap something, it does reset the overall income for them. You have a special weapons squad, which is a unit specifically available to the infantry command. And these guys are going purely for plasma guns. So, Astartes beware. Someone's going to jump over. See these conscripts. Maybe even kill them before they're able to capture this requisition point. Backed into a corner, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Smashing all the foliage and trees. Look at that. One full squad wipe. Even the sergeant going to go down there. Gonna start capping that requisition point. Guardsman over here managing to regain this strategic point here. And now double scouts. Okay. There you go. You've now got your snipers. Quadruple in that pack as well. Nice.
Yes, sir.
And with the squishy infantry, even if these boys have got plasma guns, I mean, comparing and contrasting the health, they're not that much.
Go ahead, sir.
In fact, they're more or less the same level of health. So, oh gosh, oh dear. Yeah, one squad wipe there. But we do have a sentry tarantula. Are you facing the wrong way, sentry tarantula? I think you might be. I'm not sure if it turns around, but it looks like it's facing the wrong way. This is what I like about the world. This is what I'm most excited for about Eternal, is that a lot of people that will be playing this, even if they're well versed in Dawn of War 1 or Dawn of War 2, it's a brand new game. So people will still be getting familiar with how the game actually works. So, yeah, so we'll be able to see like lots of mess ups and mistakes and stuff, as well as a lack of, how would one say, micro and stuff. Going to see a Tactica uplink, as well as double plasma generators on these lads. I was going to see, oh, a Chimera, where are you going? Oh, he's going to roll straight in. General has gone down there. Going to be dropping in some more, there we go, more conscripts. Now this is a way to be aggressive, all going to focus fire straight away on that transit turret. Sending these scouts back home. You've been suppressed over here, why have you been suppressed? Some assault marines going to come in. They'll jump straight into the middle. And chase around. God, look at the speed on these guys. Getting us around on that Chimera. But to wipe it out, no problem. But one transit turret has gone down. Some explosions. I imagine that was one of the reserve company's abilities with explosions and stuff. Have you spent your red money? Is that a clue? No. So maybe not. Oh, the transit turret is a 360 firing thing. Right, okay. Fair enough. That makes sense. And look at that. Quick as a flash. Add a bit of dash. You've got the secure strategic point now looking less than secure. Hero being upgraded with a level up. Now, one thing I would love to see is if I could see, like, in the same way that, like, your heroes can have their upgrades there, just like the most recent free upgrades in that little slot there would be quite handy. What we got, so at the moment, the General's really just gone for his Vox Caster upgrade. Although the Captain here has gone for Heavy Bolter Artificer Armor, which increases maximum health regen, and maximum energy, as well as an Iron Hailer. So he should be able to tank a fair bit of damage while the scouts open fire. And these guys won't be able to charge forward as the Heavy Bolter of the Captain keeps them at bay from this very narrow choke point.
I hear you.
General is going to go for some stabilizers, which I do believe increase the health regen of the lads around him. Over here, more secured strategic points will be slapped down as well. We'll see a Manticore on the way. Artillery unit for the guardsmen.
Standing by for orders. Fitting brigade.
But yeah, so one other aspect that they've changed in this kind of game is that rather than having differentiated heroes with little difference in the way that the faction is played, they've kind of focused a lot more on the sub-factions, which is quite interesting. So it allows each faction to have 3 different kind of styles of play, which I quite like. Like, I mean, you wouldn't really be able to do this, I imagine, with... what are they called? With, like, the First Company or the Mechanical Company, or whatever you call them. Because, you know, they've got different options and they've got different powerful units to make use of. Do have a Devastator squad armed with a missile launcher, so they're anticipating the arrival of some vehiculars. Captain going in, taking all the damage, and then leaving, only to then activate his Iron Hailer. Oh, dear, oh dear. The Manticore is going to fire away.
So the generator is online.
Look at this. Cinematic as you like. And this is going to be a really sad time. Scouts not tanking the damage all that well. The start is there. Not too bad. We'll have to retreat. One scout going, go home. Be a family man. That's seeing something being teleported in there. Or drop stricken in. Which is a drop pod. Aha! So this is a drop pod that the Space Marines can use to reinforce themselves. However, I imagine that yellowmonkeySoulEater probably thought, oh, that's probably going to strike some troops in. No. Like I said, we're all learning, boys and girls. On a side note, yellowmonkeySoulEater, that name reminds me of... Now, showing my age here, on Fox Kids, the cartoon channel, a while ago, there was a program called... what was it called? Super Monkey Robot Team Hyperforce Go. And it's just... that's what I think of when I read that name. If you're old and you also know that cartoon, please let me know in the comments, just so I'm not feeling ancient. Submarines over here, on their own, trying to capture that power generator. Will now turn around and focus on this lonely guardsman. Yeah, good surrounding him. We'll turn their attention to the plasma gun wielding chaps over here. Lots of scout sniper fire. Chimera not really dealing all that well with this, as the Space Marine, well, Devastator Marines with their missile launchers have taken it down. But Manticore providing some supporting fire, almost taking out these scouts, but not quite. Wonderful little piece of artillery, but you need to have some kind of follow-up just to secure those kills. Guardsmen going to retreat. Got one scout sentinel with a very shiny firing bit going on. And at the moment, has the sound bugged out? Does seem like it. That's a shame, but never mind, we will continue. Like we said, this mod is in beta, so there will be bugs and fixes needed to be taken. Submarines and Captain running backwards for their lives. Looking at the economies, we've got 520 and 220 compared to 490 and 69. Way, that's the meme number. So severe lacking in the blue department for the Space Marines. Imperial Guard, what are you going to go for? More conscripts. Manticore standing there firm. Got a little best friend double scout action going on here with some sentinels. Managed to repair that one there. We'll bring the engineer squad over to fix this bad boy up. Anything else I can mention from my list of things to comment on? We do have... So, what one... how would one say? The thinking behind a lot of the changes for this is that the idea is that they want to make faster-paced, epic battles and long-term decision-making on top of what was already wonderful at the core of Dawn of War 2. And we're reading that verbatim there, but yeah, at the moment, from the games that I've played, they do seem to be a lot more fast-paced. You do get... I mean, what did we see The first opening act was 3 conscripts being dropped on top of a captain. Which was... I mean, if that's not a fast opening, I don't know what is. Gonna see a Dreadnought just chunking away at this power node in the middle. Loving the colour scheme for the Space Marine player. Shining gold, baby.
So the generator is online.
Oh, well, bloody hell, that was an interesting crash. But at least the sound's back on now. So I had to restart the game and fast forward it, but we're back, baby. So anyway, we've got this very impressive conglomerate of Space Marines going on. We've got Assault Marines, Devastators, we've got Manticore coming in. We've also got regular troops as well. Will they get them? Oh, no, managing to avoid the vast majority of that fire going on in there. Now that Manticore is more or less useless for a little while. Not sure how long the cooldown on that is. Somebody's going to jump over the ridge. Although it will be pushed back slightly. Going a little bit too far forward. Captain using his Iron Halo. All these guys, I quite like to imagine that they're just hiding behind the Dreadnought, using him as cover. But it's going to be quite difficult for the Imperial Guard to push back. They don't really have an answer for most of this stuff going on. Tactical Marines will be quite difficult to take on. Dreadnought certainly don't currently have anything in the way of anti-vehicle at the moment. They're just going to smash these things around. You notice as well, all the squads are a little bit bigger than their original squads in Vanilla, which is quite exciting. You can probably tell by just the sheer amount of lads over here. Cascans on the way with their plasma guns. These guys should certainly be able to shore up these tactical marines. Also, one thing that the reserve company is able to do, they're able to reinforce their turrets a little bit better. That's probably why we saw them defend so well earlier on. It's quite good. Snipers over here capturing bits and bobs. Map dominance slowly but surely changing over to the Space Marines. And what are you going to do? You are in tier 3. Do you have money? So you've got... I do believe that it's 400 and 400 for a big tank. Whatever they're called. The Baneblade, that's what it's called. But they're going to go for Chimera instead. Not sure if Chimera is the way forward when you've got all these Devastators. These guys are not going to push in as of yet. They're just feeling a little bit too... I mean, they've killed all this stuff. They've earned their rights. The thing about this is that when you... if you push in too early, and you lose too much of your troops, kind of like Weapon of Kosmos, the counter-attack is something that you've got to take into consideration. Just going to go back home. Man his own business. Submarines over here. Anything interesting going to go on in the base at the moment? No, not quite. One Tech Marine looking longingly at his plasma generators. Chimera's over here. Rear armor being shot at by some missiles. They're going to reverse straight back out. The worst 3.1 turning you've ever done in scene. The special weapons for the melter guns need to get their distance away from this Dreadnought. Cascans over here, plasma guns. Oh my goodness, they're actually able to really do a serious amount of damage against those tactical marines. Killing a fair number of them. But not able to really do much when you've got a Dreadnought in your face. But maybe that at least highlights the play to make. General's gone for a long-distance package. Equips the General with a sniper rifle and his retinue with long las rifles. That's the fire on my target ability, increasing ranged to weapons. And yeah, stabilized. I mentioned that earlier. Heavy healing infantry over time. That's nice. Got more conscripts, more Cascans. Gonna go for those plasma guns. Maybe that's the play. Pack your Chimeras full of lads. Jump in, do your damage, and run away. Hit and run tactics. Space Marine's going to come out once again. Now in full force. Got their tier 3 on the way. And it's quite tense. Both sides have got a lot of material on the field at the moment. I imagine that the Space Marines probably have the advantage. Kosmos, as he says, just steamroll me with their snipers. It needs to take those things out. Manticore might be able to take him out if he's able to get them in. Got a heavy weapons squad, gonna go for a las cannon.
Do we have a target, sir?
He's got the orange money, got quite a lot of that. Maybe needs to build up some more. What are these called? These plasma generators. So the Imperial Guard, even though that he's the infantry company, still has access to really big tanks.
Generator coming up.
So that is something. Some scouts over here. Looks like they were trying to do some argy-bargy.
We'll cover our men.
We've got another...
Nothing can get through our field of fire.
What is your function?
If such
Well, I know your function. Your function is to reinforce things, but maybe he made the same mistake again. Thinking, oh yeah, we'll summon another Dreadnought, and then...
Sir, power node is ready.
Ah, don't you worry, boys and girls. In the future, I'm sure the casts will become
Upgrade order received.
more intense in the way that when players get to know what's going on. But in these kinds of games, it's also quite interesting, because, like, if you watch Dawn of War 1 games that I do on this channel, and the occasional Elite mod game, it's always done by players who know exactly what's going on, so they're always doing the most optimal thing possible. And while it's wonderful to learn from players who are doing the correct things all the time, also when watching players make mistakes as well, that's something to help you learn. So yeah, we've got some infiltrated tactical scouts now, so it should be harder for the Manticore to be able to get them. There's some of Kosmos's slag plasma generators over here. These guys are going to hide. Does your energy ticks down even when you're standing still? Okay, fair enough. No one really going to go in anywhere soon. I might speed... I can't speed things up without revealing the... oh no, I can fix it in post. I can edit the video. How crazy is that? Right, so scouts maneuvering around, having a little cheeky ganders. No one really pushing any far forward. A little bit of anxiety going on. Kosmos says it's hard to get power. You can also, in these plasma generators, upgrade them to produce more power.
Sir, power node's been targeted.
And regular speed. Go. We do have a whirlwind. Okay. Well, you were about to do something. Oh, double whirlwinds. It's a... Oh, shit, sorry. There we go. Regular speed. Haha. I will learn how to do this eventually. I am but one simple, humble man who's not very good with technology. Tactical Marine's going to do some power bashing. Not ideal against buildings with their bolt guns, but look how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a healthy amount of Space Marines. The Whirlwind and the Assault Marines coming in. They've got their combat shields. Increase the health, reduce damage taken from all members of the squad. Although it does not have their pistols anymore. So purely close combat. Love the sound of that Whirlwind. But like I said, does not do that much damage against buildings. Come on, Guardsmen, what are you going to do? Defend your hearth and home. Do something about this incorrigible drop pod in your base at the very least. Going to see a Lehman Russ Demolisher depot on the way. And he has got a fair chunk of blue money to play with, so possible pushes with vehicles soon. Well, we're going to move forward. Scouts doing what they do best, which is scouting. And what are you? Who are you coming from? Oh, I imagine Space Marines. Well, when coming in, throwing a lot of stuff down there. Destroying their own
Happy to be of service, sir.
drop pod. Probably heresy, but what's not a little bit of heresy to wind away the day? Commander... Oh, sorry, Guardsmen going for a lot of grenade launchers here. So looking for that disruption. Be very careful with your spacing out of these units to make sure that a whirlwind doesn't get you. Like these guys. I might as well, he's also got... Not sure if he's got the red money for more conscripts. But we shall see. Guardsmen now going to push forward. Space Marine's going to retreat. Good spread on these lads. But need to watch out when they enter this little narrow choke point here. And that's exactly what he was waiting for. Executed masterfully. Oh gosh, it's like D-Day, but worse. Lots of fire going on in these Tactical Marines, and even more fire coming in. Good heavens. But they're standing firm. The Cascan's still there. Have to move in, see if they can strike out these whirlwinds. Dreadnought now going to shuffle over. These whirlwinds, their firing rate is vastly superior to the Manticore. Lord of mercy. Dreadnought moving in, slamming the floor. Good lord, I hope you're not motion sick. Just screen shake on this bad boy, quite intense. Yeah, Guardsmen being beaten back once again. But, I mean, those Kasrkins survived a lot longer in that than I originally anticipated. General being picked up, smashed on the ground, before being thrown into those rocks, dear oh dear. Smashing his cranium on the stalagmites? Stalactites? I'm going to guess stalagmites. It's been a while since I've done geography in school. So what's the plan now, Cosmo? What have you got going for yourself? Gonna go Stormlord. Okay. Fair enough. Now, this is like the big bad super duper unit, because not only does it cost requisition power, but it also costs you red money as well. Got a Tech Marine on the front, so we'll be able to repair that Dreadnought. He's now gone for his Dark Age of technology, increasing his health and also increasing the damages melee attacks do. Salt Marines over here, just been capping everything. And who is joining you? Kasrkins, double squads. Gonna do the old fast forward thing again. Here we go. Got the When's the Stormlord coming out. You're coming out in a moment. Oh, shit, hold on. For the power of editing, we prevail. Yeah, these scouts moving forward, but like, been shot at by the heavy weapons teams. Assault squad jumping straight in. Gonna see if they can get a squad wipe. But taking a fair amount of damage themselves before falling back. Losing a couple of models, in fact, almost losing their entire squad there. It was a brave maneuver. Here we go, Stormlord out. Sick guns on the front. If anything is going to be killing the Space Marine infantry, it's going to be this monstrous Titan. General back on the field as well. Still with his long distance package. Which has quite a rude connotation, I do have to say. That's fine, we're all here for the memes, aren't we? Here we go, so these scouts are going to come up the mountain as they come and notice this and think, wow, I don't want any part of this. Whirlwinds, seeing what's going on. And these Devastators knocked to the ground repeatedly by the sheer amount of fire coming in. Look at that. One shot from those las guns. Doing some serious damage. Whirlwind still getting some good shots on these heavy weapon squads there. Space Marines over here need to... There we go. They're going to research some more missile launchers. Got some Terminators teleporting in. Absolute carnage going on. Good lord, just the sheer amount of firepower has been brought down by the Stormlord, but it is taking a fair whack of damage itself. Squad of conscripts, well, triple conscripts now been summoned in as well. Chimera moving forward, allowing everyone to reinforce themselves, but those conscripts absolutely wiped out. Straight up, no cap. Dreadnought still in the middle, picking guys up as he pleases. And there we go, Kosmos throws out the GG, sees the writing on the wall and thinks, right, well, if I can't beat you with all that, you're just going to do a big counterattack and murderize my face. So yeah, that was quite exciting. If you're interested in this kind of mod, I will put the links to the Discord for them in the description below. Be able to find people who can play games with. There's also a link to where you can actually download the damn thing. And I'll also give you a link to my Discord, where we do Dawn of War 1 stuff mostly, but I assume we'll also be branching out into this in the near future. There's also Patreon, £1 a month to get you one extra game a week on the old Patreon. And that's it, I think. Yes, it is. Cool. Anyway, mine's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never chore. I will see you in a bit. Peace.